So I saw the this time with Alan Partridge, series two, episode five, episode one. Sorry, I was a bit ahead of time, and it is brilliant. I love the Alan Partridge series. Actually, I really admire Mr. Steve Coogan, and when I was in the UK, I was doing my postdoc in Cambridge University. During my stay there, I went down to London one time, and I went to a theater in London, and I don't remember the name of the theater, but anyway, it was the Steve Coogan live night, and I, really enjoyed the occasion. So I am a really great admirer of Mr. Steve Coogan, and Alan Partridge, of course, is his greatest comedy creation. And so I was, I really enjoyed the, this time with Alan Partridge, the first series, and the second series was even better, I should say. I think the secret of the Alan Partridge character is that it explores and exposes the mundane and mediocre in each of us, and we are prejudiced and we have our shortcomings, we have our limits, and yet the Alan Partridge character embraces all these, defects in every one of us with love and a kind of satire, and the satire bit would make the love bit sweeter if you sprinkle a bit of salt on a watermelon, the watermelon tastes sweeter. That's a trick we usually do in Japan. Here in Japan, I'm based in Tokyo, so anyway, so this time with Alan Partridge, tackled the problem of why the news and current affairs show, the magazine show, are so empty and mediocre. I'm sorry. This probably I'm revealing my own prejudice here, but here in Japan we have something equivalent to the BBC, which is called NHK, and the NHK has a program called Asaichi, which is more or less empty. I'm sorry to say, but it's about about the everyday occurrences in the average household, and people interviewed, these people, the usual suspects and talents, idols and actors and actresses, and all these small talks which amount to nothing, and I hear the same phenomenon is happening in the UK too. The Good Morning, not America, Good Morning Britain, and the other one show is it? All these news and current affairs show which supposedly serves the interest of the ordinary people. But where's the ordinary people? I mean, in my lifetime, I've never seen an ordinary people. Everybody is extraordinary, and these programs, I think, treat as if people are ordinary. And but the enigma is that people do watch these programs, and I can't bear to watch these programs. And when I'm in the UK, ever since my postdoc, I travel to London and Cambridge every year. I couldn't do that last year, obviously, but whenever I go there, I love to watch the BBC, but I can't bear to watch the morning programs because they are so rubbish. I'm sorry to say. But the enigma is it's everywhere the same. Good morning, America. Good morning, Britain. Good morning, Japan. We do have that kind of program, and people do have this perspective that we do need these programs, and I don't know why they need programs. But anyway, Alan Partridge attacks the very premise of these programs, I think, and because Alan Partridge and his co-host Jenny Gresham, they are shown doing this and that, chatting, chinwagging in the studio. But when it comes to the videos or guest interviews, it never happens. I mean, the videos are never shown. I mean, there's this continuum of camera work, and in which Alan Partridge and Jenny Gresham are seen to be doing this and that during the intervals, and this is a great charm of the show. It shows the backstage, and the backstage becomes the front stage, and it's quite interesting to see these acts with Ring, the eternal PA, coming in and doing this and that for Mr. Alan Partridge. But the video itself, which is supposed to be a broadcast all over Britain, it's never shown. So it's quite interesting. I mean, this is, I think, a style at its best. I mean, because the contents of the videos are empty, they don't have to show it. The guest interviews in the first episode of second series, there was this twins, a pair of twins who were separated at their childhood, and they were supposed to meet after long years of separation, and that was the main content of the show. But then Jenny's friend, who is boyfriend, who is really self-assured, he storms in and disrupts the show. And so the twin encounter, I mean, which was supposed to be so moving, is washed away. And Alan tries to solve his situation, but he doesn't do it effectively. And but that shows, this shows, of course, privately speaking, it'll be great for the two separated twins to meet again. But from critical point of view, from satire point of view, I mean, it's empty. It's nothing. So it doesn't really have to be shown in the full spectrum. So this premise of the sheer emptiness, meaninglessness of the morning shows, combined with Alan Partridge's genius of satire and critical comedy, I think is the winning format for this time with Alan Partridge and Steve Coogan and his teams should be yeah, applauded for that. And sorry, Mr. Inuhachi, he's not there. Arnold, anyway, Mr. Inuhachi, yeah, he's not there. I think he has left for the U.S. market. I think he's up to something recently in the U.S. market, so he doesn't have time to do anything in the BBC. But the format of this Alan Partridge series is so interesting and so profound actually, because it's an unsolved mystery. So as I said, every person is actually extraordinary. Every person is unique, and every person has a really interesting personality. But when it comes to the morning shows, there's this enigma that these, morning shows are really, really boring. It's universal. It doesn't depend on the country. I should tell you that the morning shows in Japan are as boring as the morning shows in the US or in the UK, and but yet people do watch them. So are they mundane because the things that we eat in the mornings are mundane? Like in Japan, we have rice and miso soup, and in the US, maybe some cereals. In the UK, some brown toast, eggs and sausages and baked tomatoes and all these mundane breakfast. Yeah, these are mundane breakfasts, but we do love them, right? So maybe that's why we. Oh, when we say we, I'm not included because I don't bother to watch these shows, morning shows. I do crave to watch this time with Alan Partridge because it's a satire of the mundane morning shows. But this satire wouldn't exist if there were no mundane, mediocre morning shows in the first place. So why do we have them? Well, what is this thing about ordinary people? I mean, nobody is ordinary. Everybody is extraordinary, but we treat each other as if we are ordinary people. And why? This is an enigma that Alan Partridge, I think, as a character, is exploring as a detective and self-claimed detective. And and that detective work would never end because the mystery of mundaneness is probably much deeper than the mystery of life itself. Or have I overstated? It doesn't matter because this is not a morning show, and I can say anything I like. See you around. I'm really looking forward to watching the second episode of the second series. Yeah, it's much better than the morning shows. But the morning shows presumably exist for a reason. Why? I don't understand. Would anybody tell me? I'm all ears.